YFM number 10. Hello from Glenn in Edmonton. Here's 45 seconds of audio of a steam train at Fort Edmonton Park, a streetcar on high-level bridge, and LRT near Rogers Place today.
Off the top of the pod, that was Brendan's piano mixed with the sounds of putting milk, flour, yeast, butter, and salt together into a couple of loaves of homemade bread. Happy end of the week, friends. I'm Glenn Kubish. This is the Three Things Podcast. My bet is if I don't consciously try to notice three things that made me happy or grateful each week, I'd notice only the things the algorithm wants me to notice, and that would not be cool. And so, number one, top of the list, dough. The pandemic has imprinted a few new habits on me. I wash my hands, I try not to touch my face. For whatever reason, I've begun flossing my teeth. I bake bread, too. My favorite part of baking bread happens after the stirring, mixing, beating, and kneading, when the dough, in a ball, sits in a buttered bowl beneath a white tea towel, and over the next 60 minutes, abracadabra, rises imperceptibly. And then my favorite part of the process happens, the punch down, which is what Auntie Sheila typically takes care of. And then my favorite part of baking bread, the forming of the risen and punched down dough into shape. One of the folds looks like the kind of envelope you put in the mail, the back of the envelope where you seal the flap to the seams. Later, we'll use a knife to open the envelope and get at the loaf letter scratched out from home. Number two, a deer. Just off to my left as I pedaled along a piece of leafy trail in the river valley last week, a deer bounced into the trees. The twigs went snap, snap, snap. I touched my brakes and stopped and looked into the crisscross of branches. A bird whistled. In the tangle, 30 feet or so away, the deer had also stopped and was looking back at me. We stood there for about 15 seconds or so, just like that, recording each other, me with my phone, the deer with its big ears like listening posts on a borderline. Then it turned and tail up, sprang away and disappeared. The leaves flipped in the wind like a magician showing you both sides of the card before the trick. I didn't know if the thrill came from seeing the deer or being seen. And number three, pioneers. We get pioneers all wrong if we think of them just as old people now dead who didn't know they could smile for photographs. Pioneer, from the French pionnier, meaning foot soldier or one who prepares the road for others, which makes my friend Brett Berge a kind of pioneer. A couple of years ago, Brett ultra-pedaled her Brompton from Calgary to Edmonton in 14 hours. Brett came to mind last week when Australian pro cyclist Lachlan Morton finished his Alt Tour de France. Morton is not in the actual tour, but he pedaled solo the entire length of the route, including the 2,000 or so kilometers of transfers between stages that the Tour de France riders cover in their team buses. He carried his gear, tented in fields at night, found food, fixed his own flats, and got to Paris 5 days before the race itself. He raised money for communities where kids most need their own bicycles. Morton averaged 306 kilometers a day. Not quite as impressive as Brett's one-day 346 kilometers, but chapeau to him too. On the road, where the powerful work beauty into shape, where a story can be written over the same old story, there's still room to lead the way, even today. Doe, a deer, and pioneers. 3 things that made me happy and grateful this week. See you next time.
Good morning, everybody. This is
Zone 1.
Carlos, the running jackal, talking to you as I walk back from my supermarket outing. I have a backpack full of tomatoes and chicken drumsticks and some nabob coffee. All these items were special prices on the flyers. I saved myself about $6 today. Unfortunately, I left my app on. I just turned the volume off, so my pace is a little slower than my actual moving pace, because it included walking around in the store looking for the items that I needed. Occasionally it would kick in, occasionally it would say auto pause, but because I had the volume off, I didn't hear that. It's preferable for me to record the whole
Zone 1.
outing rather than pause and then forget to restart it, which is my normal trick. Anyway, so today I'm just mentioning the fact that on August the 24th, which is my birthday, I will be putting out the last of the Your 5 Minutes joint contribution shows.
Average heart rate 102. Workout average pace 11 minutes 29 seconds per kilometer.
I mean, that's about 3 weeks away now, maybe more, maybe 4 weeks. But what's going to happen after episode 10 has dropped? Then after that, anybody who has a 5-minute submission, like Steve, like Glenn, like me, can submit directly to the Your 5 Minutes website. You have posting privileges. You don't have to send it via me unless you don't know how to post audio to my website, in which case I will post it for you. So that's the plan. Put out one more show, and then after that, coordinate the submissions for the rest of the year. I will obviously be posting my full show there, so will I post Rob's shows, Derek's shows, whatever other shows I'm
Time
in
1
charge
hour.
of.
Cadence 62. Average heart rate 102. Workout average pace 11 minutes 28 seconds per kilometer.
I'm on
Time for
Lambrick.
hydration.
I'm on Lambrick Park without anything to drink, but I'm only 7 minutes from home now. As I walk past my Sikh friends, they're having a little chinwag. They're having a little chinwag in Punjabi. Tomorrow I run. Today is a rest day activity. I'll get more than an hour today for sure. I've just heard the hour now, so I'm going to get about an hour and 10 minutes for this outing. But that is including my walking around in the store.
Zone 1. Time 1 hour 1 minute. Cadence 62. Average heart rate 101. Workout average pace 11 minutes 27 seconds per kilometer.
All right,
Zone
so
0.
the theme, a loose theme for the last episode. I mean, if you just want to wish me happy birthday, that's fine too. But a loose theme for this last episode will be one of the recurring themes in my mind ever since I turned 50 is, why do we run? Is it a lifestyle choice or is it a sport?
Zone 0.
Obviously for me, it's a lifestyle choice to run because I don't compete anymore. I don't race. I don't like racing. I don't like crowds. Therefore, I train for fitness only. That's why cross-training is so important for me. Have to do a bit of
Time 1 hour 2 minutes. Cadence 61.
As I whittle away at my pace, I'm just going to say goodbye to you here. Bye-bye.
Carlos and your fine listeners. This is Bruce McIntosh of the Just the Renters podcast, for anybody that doesn't know. And my podcast, I guess, is off for a few weeks, or maybe not. Fortunately, we had a death in the family. My wife's mother, Anita, passed away last Wednesday. I'm recording on a Monday, 2nd of August. I'm not sure when Carlos is getting this out. So anyways, out for a little, well, right now I'm just walking, run, probably mostly walking today. I'm not going to work and wanted to get out and do something. I'm at Mill Creek Park and taking the trail path. This is a wood like bridge or whatever through the trails here, and that I'm on right now. So wasn't sure what the subject would be today, since there was no specific. Like, at least I don't remember what. I know I normally try to get recordings in for Carlos, but I'm on is, even though my mother-in-law was 93 when she passed away, good long life, still get out and be with the people you enjoy being with, do what you enjoy, and do things, set goals, and do crazy things like run marathons or 5K if that's what you're crazy. And I'm just saying that's what we got in the world today. That's take care of yourself. You know, maybe we'll all live to 93 and we'll still be making audio recordings or podcasts, if you will. I have no intention of quitting my podcast. I actually, because of everything that went down, I canceled one interview. Well, we're rescheduling. She's very understanding. And hopefully I'll get going on that again and some of my other things that I meant to keep up on. A lot of things seemed to get in the way. For a while I was working a lot. With the pandemic coming, everything's been picking up lately. I never really quit working. I was never less than my regular full-time job. But lately, shortage of people at work, orders are picking up, so I've been working more hours. That interferes with my training and podcasting and recording. But this week, I ended up taking the whole week off due to the wrong reasons or the right reasons, but I'm off and I'm hoping, I don't know, hopefully when I get back to work I'll be able to keep a good solid running routine and keep podcasting and recording regular again. I guess different things are different priorities at different times. So right now, not tripping on these rocks I'm walking through. This would be a better video cast today. It's just crazy. That's what I'm saying. That's Mill Creek Trails for you. Woodbridge, now rocky thing, and now I'm in this little, they made a little, that's new. I haven't been on these trails in a while. I mean, well, I'm about to hit 5 minutes, so time to call this a podcast. Recording. Thank you.
All right, how's everybody doing? 2 years. It was a long 2 years. I don't know about you guys. I felt like, it was COVID. It hit, a lot of us personally. It hit a lot of us professionally. It messed with our mind. I don't know about you. It messed with my running. I'm just going to add that to excuses for my line of excuses for running. Race directing's one of them. I just want to thank everybody for being here. RDing this race is one of the most rewarding things I've ever done. And I can tell you, not RDing this race in 2020 was something that hit me so personally, and it really made for a tough year on top of everything. So I honestly cannot thank you enough for being here, for bringing your enthusiasm, for tipping your hat to the mindset that we could sort of accomplish anything if we set our mind to it. This is a special community, and I appreciate each and every one of you towing the line at this year's Anchor Down. I am going to try not to make our race late. Usually I'm 2 minutes late. I'm going to try to beat that record this year. Forgive me. This year was a little bit of a Hail Mary, so this year I'm resorting to an iPhone. It's a little bit embarrassing. I feel like I'm giving like a bad wedding speech. So welcome to the Anchor Down. For those of you who have not been here, I welcome you to the most friendly, welcoming environment in all of ultra running, and I honestly believe that. I think we have an awesome gem here in Southern New England, akin to some of the iconic West Coast ultras. This is a community like no other. For anybody who is new, I challenge you to get to know the people on the course with you. You have a community of people that are willing to help you, welcome you into the sport, and help you accomplish what you want to accomplish today. Safety. It's funny, I'm looking at my notes and I have, oh my God, clearly I was doing talk to text. So, safety, oh my God. That's fair. Safety this year. So we have, is Justin around? Where's Justin? Justin's probably, I think he was roaming the course to check the course. So Justin is our on-site EMT. He's our medical coordinator. He's taking the first shift because of the humidity. So he's here all night. Tomorrow, we have another EMT refreshing him. And then as the heat picks up, we've added to that. So we've added, just like we did in 2019 with the heat and humidity, we've added 2 EMTs. Thank you to all you guys in 2019 who chipped in buying a hoodie, or I think that year was hoodies and hats. We now have an AED machine on site. So we're continuing to kind of invest in making sure that you guys are safe. And I might double down on this. I'm just going to go off script here. I'm obviously, as a runner and as a race director, incredibly concerned going into this year's Anchor Down. However, this is everything I've ever dreamt of this race. All right? So I'm like a kid in a candy store, like, this is freaking awesome. And then I'm like, I love you guys, I don't want anybody to get hurt. So forgive my fatherly speech here, all right? But the mindset I want everybody to go into this year's race is be proactive, not reactive. So this is all about pushing your limits. That's what this community is about. That's what the ultra running sport is about. And that's what Anchor Down is about. This is like everything. This is like perfect weather for the Anchor Down. That being said, if you are overheating in this year's Anchor Down, it is probably too late. Okay? If you are honestly like, oh my God, I'm in trouble. If you're thinking you're in trouble, you're really in trouble. So two things happen. You realize you're in trouble and you hide it from us, which makes a really difficult situation for our staff and our EMT director and me, because I have no information to go on, all right? Or you have to keep plowing through and you're gonna get medically DQ'd, you're gonna go home in an ambulance, okay? So I kind of tip my hat to Ultra Running Magazine, right? Because Anchor Down does not advertise, right? So we're not like big on the advertising dollars for all these big races on the West Coast. You guys get these big printouts. Yet we sell out in 26 seconds, and every year the people who try to toe the line here, we have 3 or 4 who go home in an ambulance. It is the most legit ultra in the world, I think. And you're here, and I want you to respect that you're here and be careful, because I want you to get to the finish line. I do not want you to put me in the position that I have to DQ you, and I do not want you to put your pacers or your spectators in a situation where they have to come to me in the back of the tent and whisper to me that you're in trouble. So do me a favor, and this is my honest perspective on being an RD. If you're in trouble and you come into this aid station and you are honest and you have a conversation, and I'm not saying you have to, hey God, excuse me, raise my hand, I'm in trouble. I'm just saying, hey, how you doing? Those honest conversations we're having with you, especially going into the heat, be honest. Right? If you tell me, I'm hurting right now, but I'll do okay, or I'm feeling a little dizzy, if you have those honest conversations, all we do is we keep an eye on you. That honest information, because almost everybody in our staff here is in some way, shape, or form from the ultra running community. We know what you're going through, and we get it. And I'm not just going to go, oh, you're hot. Oh, well, sorry, race is over. See you in 2022. All right? It's Anchor Down. I'm going to let you be hot. I'm going to let you suffer. But I'm also going to have an honest conversation with medical staff, and I'm going to make an honest determination of if we think you should continue. I think, if Justin were here, we might be able to put a number to this. I think I've only medically DQ'd 5 people. Every year I have, so maybe 1 year short. We always send 2 or 3 people to the hospital, okay? So, be honest, have a conversation. I want the hottest Anchor Down to be the 1 year we don't send anybody to the hospital. Let's put our hand in the team Anchor Down for that challenge, all right? But let's do our best, and again, proactive, not reactive. Think of it just like you think about your nutrition. What do we all know as ultra runners, right? If all of a sudden you're famished and you feel like you have nothing in your stomach, it's probably too late. You should have ate 5 miles ago, right? You have to think about the heat the same way, okay? Everybody say, okay, Dad. Okay, Dad. All right. The rest of my speech I went totally off the schedule. All right.
Well, good morning. It is the Saturday check-in. This is Steve in Southeast Pennsylvania. And rather than Lake Nakamixon today, I am running on the Highlands Trail, a little portion of it, just behind a Veterans Park in Quakertown, the softball fields. And there's plenty of activity going on there. They take fees for parking unless you're using the park or the trail. So I fall into the latter category. And so here I am. We've not had as much rain this week. I think we had 1/4 of an inch a few days ago, but it has been dry since then. So the trail has a little bit of mud, but it's not slushy. Just gushy in spots, but mostly avoidable or traversable without a whole lot of issue. It's so dry. Need to get a sprinkler onto the vegetable garden this morning, so couldn't find said sprinkler. So headed on over to Lowe's yesterday. I've all set up. Picked green beans quite a bit this week. I forget what my wife said, if it was 11 quarts we froze yesterday. So she has been longing to add frozen green beans to our storage. And so we finally have done that after a few years of really bad growing seasons. So hope to get the watering done to prolong the season and help the other vegetables that are need a little help. Tomatoes, eggplant, peppers, kale, what have you. So we'll get that done today. Also, our driveway is not paved but stone, and so it's been 20 years, and the stone has moved around, shifted here and there. We're always trying to move it back to the places where ruts develop. But we had 10 tons of stone delivered this week, and so I will also be trying to get the last 2 piles spread about today, and then hope to play a little radio. Actually, I'll do a little radio after the run here, and then maybe some at home. I've been dealing with some nasty interference across all the radio bands in the mornings. So it's external to my house. It could be something's going on with the transformer, or it could be something on a timer, because it is just the morning and then it's not there during the day. So anyway, contacted the utility company to check things out. But it's annoying because all I hear is buzz, loud buzzing, and no radio signals. So the week coming up, nothing special. Folks who were on vacation some are back. So it will be not as quiet a week in the office. Hope to get out and run a little bit more this week. Didn't do great at getting out this week, even though the weather cooled and dried out. So, all right, well, this is Steve, southeastern Pennsylvania, along one of the branches of the Tohickon Creek. So we'll see you later. Enjoy.
हेलो फ्रेंड्स, नमस्कार। मैं हूं हरीश मकवाना और मैं आज आपके लिए लाया हूं एक इंटरेस्टिंग वीडियो। जो वीडियो है कोविड वैक्सीन सर्टिफिकेट के बारे में। तो वीडियो चालू करने से पहले अगर आपको वीडियो अच्छा लगे तो सब्सक्राइब कीजिए और बाजू वाले बेल आइकन को प्रेस कर दीजिए।
He's saying, if you want the COVID vaccination report, you can get that by texting the number provided.
तो आज नया गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया और हेल्थ मिनिस्ट्री के बारे में एक नया अपडेट जारी किया है गवर्नमेंट ऑफ मिनिस्ट्री ने।
On the video, once you text on it, they will send you OTP, which is a one-time password. After replying to that password,
हर किसी को जरूरत पड़ती है। 10 में से 3-4 लोगों को जो कोविड सर्टिफिकेट है, वैक्सीन लगाने के बाद में जो सर्टिफिकेट है,
you will get your certification on the same text.
उसका ज़्यादातर किसी को ज़रूरत पड़ती है। और गवर्नमेंट ने ज़्यादातर रूल्स निकाले हैं कि अगर समझो कि आपको बिजनेस करना है तो बिजनेस में भी आपको वैक्सीन का सर्टिफिकेट आपके पास होना ज़रूरी है। और अगर आपको बाहर जाना है तो उसके लिए भी आपके पास वैक्सीन का सर्टिफिकेट ज़रूरी है, चाहे कोई भी हो। हर कंट्री में रूल्स हो गया है, ट्रैवल से लेके कोई भी में सर्टिफिकेट। तो गवर्नमेंट ने ये रूल्स जारी किया है कि आपको घर बैठे आपको कोविड वैक्सीन का सर्टिफिकेट आपको मिल जाए। तो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की हेल्थ मिनिस्ट्री ने जो एक नंबर जारी किया है, जो नंबर ये है 9013151515। ये नंबर आप अपने मोबाइल में सेव कर लीजिए। सेव करने के बाद में आप ये नंबर पे मैसेज कर दीजिए। आई का मैसेज कर दीजिए। मैसेज करने के बाद में आपको OTP आएगा। OTP आप रिप्लाई कर दीजिए। वही सेम नंबर पे आपको उसका प्रिंट मिल जाएगा। आपका रजिस्टर्ड मोबाइल पे आपको प्रिंट मिल जाएगा। तो आपको वीडियो अच्छा लगा तो शेयर कर दीजिए, सब्सक्राइब कर दीजिए और बाजू वाले प्रेस आइकन को ऑन कर दीजिए। थैंक यू, धन्यवाद।
Thank you Sunil Dubey so much for the translation.